Good afternoon, Kristine.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, as you know, my name is Karen Alston, and I'm a board member of Edgewood Brookland Family Support Collaborative. And as you know, Edgewood Brookland is a community support organization that builds resiliency, self-sufficiency, and healthy futures for the individuals and families living in the communities we serve. Thank you for joining us for our monthly collaborative conversation. We've launched this series to share stories from members of our team, partners, and clients about how the Edgewood Brookland Family Support Collaborative continues to be a community support for everyone living in wards 5 and 6 in Washington, D.C. During these conversations, you will hear how we work with empathy, dignity, and respect, and learn more about the impact we've had over the last 25 years. Kristine, thank you for joining us today. Kristine is the Program Director for the Community Engagement and School-Based Programs. Currently, Kristine oversees our work at our 4 community schools where we provide comprehensive social services. We also provide anti-truancy services in 9 schools across wards 5 and 6. We are so excited to have Kristine to be a part of our family and with us here today. So Kristine, I'm going to jump right into our questions and ask, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and what brought you to work at Edgewood Brookland?
Thank you, Karen. I began with Edgewood Brookland in 2001. I was a social work intern. I was in my 2nd year at an MSW program at Catholic University, and Edgewood Brookland was my field placement. At the time, I was a macro student, which means that that's more of a focus on community organizing, policy, program coordination, program planning. However, I had the opportunity to not only do some of that, but then also direct case management work. So at the end of my internship, there was an opportunity, a position vacancy opened up as a community social worker. And so I applied for that position and was hired and started my career at Edgewood Brookland doing direct case management, working with youth aging out of foster care, working with families that were referred from Child and Family Services, or families that walk through our doors seeking community support, just a wide variety of case types, and to include housing and then eventually school-based programs. So that's how I started my career, and through the years, my role evolved and has shifted to team leader, supervisor, program manager, and now program director, where, as you mentioned, I oversee our school-based program and community engagement work.
So let's talk a little bit about what you do. Can you delve a little deeper and share what your work is like, what your day consists of at Edgewood Brookland?
Yeah, so currently I have oversight of 2 of our school-based programs, one of which is a anti-truancy program. And so the goal of that program is to reduce the number of unexcused absences. We want our students to be in school, not only just on time, but then also every day. This anti-truancy program targets students that have accumulated 5 to 9 unexcused absences. We don't want the student to reach 10, which then requires a referral to CFSA. And so it's really a prevention program. And so some of my day, some of my week is supporting the team that's on the ground, working with students and families, targeting those students through attendance team meetings. I have participated in attendance team meetings. I like to be on the ground at our schools and know our principals, know our school point of contacts, and also just be in the building, to be around families, to be around the activities. The other arm of the school-based work that we do is through full-service community school programming. We have 4 schools across wards 5 and 6 that are community schools, and community schools is exactly kind of how it sounds. The school is the center and the hub of the community. And what that means is that we're not only looking at services that will help enhance the students' academic experience, programs, and partnerships, but also we're looking at the gaps within the school around youth enrichment activities, parent engagement activities, and then also the larger school community. So some of my time is also looking at how we can expand our partnerships, grow our network of partners so that we're really linking our schools with service providers that are filling gaps, are meeting needs, and they're having an impact. And again, just also being there as an arm of support to my team, knowing that I'm accessible, I'm available. And as I said earlier, I really, truly do enjoy being at the school, on the ground, meeting parents, being at school functions, at activities, and just being a part of the fabric of what's happening at the school.
Wow. So I know you've been with us for a while and you've had all this experience. Is there a memory that stands out, something that you're proud of or happy that you were able to be a part of, something from the past here working with us at Edgewood Brooklyn?
I don't know if I can single out one particular memory. Being with the organization now for about 17, 18 years, there's been a lot. I think that I'm proud of the work that I've done with families when I was providing direct case management. I think that the work that we do in the community, being a part of community days, community celebrations, and, you know, I think that every day that I've been with the organization, I've enjoyed being around our team. I think we have a phenomenal team of staff that are committed, that are dedicated. And I enjoy working alongside with each and every one of them to achieve our mission and our goals.
So I've heard a lot of people use the word resilient to describe what we do. What does resiliency mean to you, and why do you think it's important to the individuals and families with whom we work?
I think that resiliency to me means being flexible, being able to adapt to changes. When we first started back in 1996, our primary funder was Child and Family Services, and we were the prevention arm in the community. And over the years, we listened to our community. We heard what the needs were. We expanded our programs to include housing, to include employment, now to include school-based programs. And so resiliency, I think, means being flexible, being responsive, and being committed to carrying out the mission.
That's wonderful. So how can people support you in the work that you do in the months and years ahead?
Well, I think for everyone, you know, their strengths and their capacities are different. I think for some who are more invested in advocacy, that could be a role that they play in helping to advocate for our program, for our services with our council member, with our city council. For others, it could be that they want to be that resource connector, that they want to put us in contact with a potential partner or potential funder or potential donor. For another person, it could be, you know, I just want to serve. I want to know if you're doing any community events or activities where, you know, they can be a part of that. I think the first step begins with just asking that question, contacting us and letting us know what the interests are and seeing how they can plug in and be a support to our organization.
That's wonderful. Okay, so I have one last question. So if you were talking to someone who knew nothing about Edgewood Brooklyn Family Support Collaborative, what would you tell them about us? How would you describe the organization and the work that we do?
Well, first and foremost, I would say that we are community-based. We are in the community, and what that means is that we're accessible to our residents, to our community members, that we're listening, that we're responsive to our community members. And also that we're committed. The organization is going on, I believe it's 22, 23 years. We've grown, we've expanded our services and our programs, and we're collaborative. We seek to involve partnerships. We seek to involve additional donors. We seek to involve our community members. So we're collaborative as well.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for this today. We greatly appreciate you. And thank you for all the work you do for Edgewood Brooklyn.
Thank you, Karen.